What's up, everybody? MegaBonk just got a big patch, and this is huge for a couple reasons. Let's talk about why. First of all, some people were saying they were scared the dev wasn't really going to update the game too much. I was never one of the naysayers, but historically, sometimes these indie games that make zillions of dollars, they go off, they disappear, and they don't update them. I don't think this is going to be the case with this game. I think the dev wants to keep cooking and keep trucking. Let's scroll down to future updates. He wants to make an opacity setting for particles and projectiles, which would be very good at helping prevent seizures when you're going for your max size tome builds. There's going to be full-sized map with fog of war so you can see where you've been. That's awesome for me. I always forget, what run I'm in, what map it is. I think I have dementia. Next, there's going to be more information when hovering over stuff like weapons. Maybe Space Noodle will tell you about its secret OP echo effect. Space Noodle's not actually OP, that was just a meme. Please do not buy it. And you can also pin and track your quests when paused. And maybe the most exciting thing that I always hear people asking about is the multiplayer being added to the game. That's going to be one of the things that the dev wants to add that they'll be adding later, along with more maps, items, characters, and weapons. But I wouldn't expect the multiplayer stuff soon. The dev is not really keen on making that a thing immediately. So enjoy the game single player while you can, and then maybe it'll have a new wave of life when multiplayer comes out. Now let's talk about the actual patch notes here. The leaderboards actually work, by the way, and on the leaderboards it's getting kind of weird. We're starting to see a lot of different things that we just were not seeing in our very solved meta of last week. Now it's always exciting day one of the meta. You want to try to figure out what's going on. Today, there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of Vlads up there for some reason. There's some bandits, there's some Chadwells, then there's some Robinette, and there's Dicehead back at it again. They can't keep that guy down. As well as even a spaceman, now that he has his XP scaling properly. That's pretty cool to me. We're starting to see a little bit of diversity. Although, I think we're going to see a lot more Robinettes on that leaderboard, and I'll get to why when we get to our speculation segment for the video. We're going to keep it short today. I'm feeling kind of sick, I'm not going to lie to you, but that's besides the point. I must do my duty as the algorithm's chosen. For whatever reason, I will bring you the news. So the big thing about the final swarm is you're no longer going to be stuck there forever. I like what the dev said about, it used to require you to wear sunglasses and watch a slideshow. That's exactly what was happening in those world record runs. And this is really nice that they're fixing that. You'll never have to sit around for 5 hours of your life in a run again, because you're going to die to the new ghosts. Now, the new ghosts, I've noticed there's purple ghosts at about 6 minutes, and red ghosts at who knows when. But the red ghosts come in, and they really kill you. Maybe it's like 16 minutes, something like that. The purple ghosts seem to be resistant to knockback and stuff, and they'll get to you a lot better than the white and black ghosts did previously. We also get a theme from Mega Chad. I'm not going to read every single patch note to you. I think, I'll just leave the link down here and you can all read it to yourselves. Unless you can't read, then next video, I'll read it to you if you want, like a bedtime story. We do Baby Smooth reads you patch notes for 5 hours edition. Other big things, Chaos Tome is going to give 50% better rewards. This might make Chaos Tome see play, and it might make it viable. I'm not really positive. I think that's going to require some testing, but that could be really cool, honestly. The black hole's default size is increased by 20%. If you're worried that they're buffing black hole, I wouldn't worry too much because the proc coefficient has been reduced from 0.9 to 0.7. That just means it's going to stack less poison and less on-hit effects than it would have done previously. Now, Bush is also getting another buff. Bush is a silly guy and he keeps getting buffed every patch. He's going to be #1 soon, guys. Just believe it. Bush is going to be on top, guys, I swear. Not. He's... Maybe one day. Joe's dagger is getting pretty nerfed, but it's actually probably still one of the best weapons in the game. You can read up on this yourself if you'd like. Basically, what it means is there's more of a cap on, the late game damage that's going up, as well as, I think, executes are going to be a lot less effective because I think the purple guys are going to be immune to executes. The purple elite ghosts, at least. The XP Tome is also getting nerfed, which is actually a really big deal if you think about it. I'm part of the team that kind of hopes XP Tome and maybe Luck Tome go away a little bit so we can open our build variety. Whether you agree or disagree is up to you. I'd rather get our XP or Luck a different way, maybe some way to greed for it, to be bold for it, something like that. or maybe just explore the map to find more of it. Granted, that would make high mobility characters or high mobility players benefit more, but I think it would be a good thing to just get rid of this tome. After all, you're still going to have to build it, in my opinion. I think most people are just going to build it still, and that's that. You'll notice a huge difference. You're not hitting that 10 times XP bonus that the game caps out at. It's going to take you a lot longer for that. As far as the leaderboards go, the dev has fixed things that allowed people to break the leaderboard, hopefully. You remember some of the people were saying, hey, dev, please fix this last week on the leaderboard. It was kind of funny. He's also setting up a list of cheaters that are banned globally and will never show up on the leaderboard again once they're caught. Cheaters better watch out, or the dev is going to do bad things to you. I like the way this guy talks. You guys should read the patch notes. I like he's got a way with words. I like it. So those are the patch notes. Now it's time to speculate. With execute being a lot less important than it used to be, especially in these ghost waves, with these ghost waves not scaling to infinity, I'm going to wager that damage is more important than it ever was. And I'm going to say we're going to see a lot of Robinettes up on the leaderboard. You might be wondering, why am I seeing 2 Vlads on the leaderboard right now, Baby Smooth? The answer, I think, lies in this one item called the Bloody Cleaver. Now, the Bloody Cleaver makes lifesteal trigger blood mark stacks, and you're also going to gain a 50% chance to apply blood mark when you hit things. This is why Vlad is able to be on the leaderboard if these are legit runs. I believe that item is just going to carry him up there. I think also the blood magic spell is kind of better now than it ever used to be. As far as use of Black Hole and Dexecutioner goes, I still think they're going to be seen as some of the most popular weapons. Allegedly, Black Hole, the effect was reduced on these minions and stuff, but we're still seeing them used, and we're still seeing them kind of dominate the game a little bit. That and the Dexecutioner both are just very solid weapons that we will probably continue to see for another week or two. If you're getting sick of them, I'm sorry. But that's just how it is in meta world. Don't be a meta slave. Don't go for the leaderboard runs. I do think the Robinette runs are going to be on top. Once again, the damage scaling is finally going to matter. In the past, it was all about executing enemies with the insta-hit proc from Joe's Dagger or from the Dexecutioner, but now it's going to be about actually killing things, which means Robinette with infinite scaling money, which means infinite scaling damage, is, in my opinion, going to be the #1 character. The only problem with that is you're going to have to figure out how to survive Kevin. He's a menace, and he's going to keep smacking you around. You're going to need a little bit of lifesteal for that. Maybe about 18-20%, something like that. Or else you'll just see your HP disappear. The reason they use Kevin is because they're going to combine it with that golden shield item, which gives you gold every time you get damaged. And we might even see golden tomes being used. I'm actually going to go ahead and link a Robinette run if I can find it. And you guys can watch it for yourself. This was the #4 run at the time of completion. And it's pretty impressive. It shows you what you're going to have to do as Robinette if you want to be on that leaderboard. But I think that's going to be a rough playthrough, let me tell you. All the items are going to have to come together, and it's going to be a logistics nightmare. But the nice thing is, you'll have infinite money. So you'll be able to buy as many items as you want. Anyway, that's been it from me. I'm Baby Smooth. Consider liking, subscribing. I'll be streaming every single day, unless I am super sick, which I'm sick, but maybe tomorrow I'll be super sick. We'll see, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.